play.
Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Let's Play Sacred with me, Bezlonir. And it is kind of late at night, don't have the most energy, and now we have to fight ice elementals. Offhand, I'm gonna say this could be a problem. I don't know. Didn't think about that. But, fortunately, we do have a little bit of abilities in our tool set that reduces their resistance to ice damage. But I don't know. It feels like I often come through here with characters and there's some sort of issue. There's a lot of different monsters on this island that have resistances to one thing or another. So, like, my Dryad was annoying to kill pretty much all of these elementals because she mostly does physical damage, and like these stone ones have. If you open up these crystals, they'll a lot of times have a T mutation of some sort in them. Always have to be careful of these bears. T mutant bears, for some reason, will like shred you. Sometimes it seems. It reminds me of the original Sacred in like weird quirks of game balance, which you'll be doing fine for like the longest time, and then all of a sudden like something will just get this like lucky string of hits on you, and your health will just like disappear in like no time. Anyway, I don't plan on messing around with too many of those crystals. This area is not that pleasant, so at least I don't find it to be. So we'll just push through here as quickly as possible. I'm pretty familiar with this, though. I've been through it on 3 characters. Unfortunately, oh yeah, there it goes. There's a thunderstorm going outside. So that's gonna be in the episode. Not much I can do about that. I could choose another time to record, but I'm pretty much running out of videos, and my prospects for recording aren't looking any better as I go along. Let me see where I think I know what I want to do right now, but I'm gonna bring up the map and see where I am. Yeah, okay. I think this is the direction I want to go in. I don't like these guys, and they slow you down. Taste of my own medicine, you say? I don't like it. I don't like my own medicine. It tastes like crap. Quite honestly, I don't know why people buy it. Don't they know it's just my piss? It's my piss in a jar. Do you like the taste? Go ahead, drink from the bottle. Put it to your mouth. Just the tip. Alright. All of those items were just shit. It was just shit. Terrible, terrible shit. Those guys died without too much trouble. And then there was these guys. More ice elementals. Even better, we have the elite ice elementals. I suppose I could have put some points into this Cobalt Strike. Kobold Strike! Like a kobold just jumps out of your like wand or something, and he's like uses a little pickaxe, and he's like, "You no take my candle," you know. That's a World of Warcraft joke. Well, I don't know if I'd call it a joke. That's giving myself a bit much credit, but if you get that, then you probably played some World of Warcraft. I don't know that that's going to be any better. And then, well, yeah, I don't think so. We just don't have the points. We don't have the points, Captain. We cannot do it. Oh boy. Here we go again. Trying to navigate and I'm failing. Come on, man. Yes. Oh, this is gonna be slow and torturous. Well. That's this section, if you don't do well with elementals, you know, it can suck. This is one of the things about, we haven't explored this. Oh, and they stun too. Great. We haven't explored this because we're not running a melee character or a ranged character like the ranged build of the Dryad would also count. You have these little sockets on your weapons, and there's like, so you have your normal silver, gold, whatever ones, and then you have one that has no color. So you can't socket blacksmith arts, which is like will give you regen time or whatever, and you can't socket like, oh, we're getting that thing again where like we're targeting the background or something, and our spells are going backwards. So you have that that socket that you can't put blacksmith arts or runes or as you can with silver sockets. You can put a ring in it, and then if you liked it, then you should have put a ring in that slot, you know, whatever. Is that what you do with a ring? Now I get it. Oh man. Oh jeez. Now I see why every girl wants a ring. They're trying to get off. It's just like that Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing where Dennis just keeps going, come on bro, don't you want to get off? Or something. We're gonna get off, I promise you. So okay. I'm getting there. Alright. Okay. Let's go this way. Or not. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so the sockets, right. Socket to me. Ha ha ha. And chicken cacciatore too. So those blank non-colored sockets allow you to put in all these items that on this character I just sell them because I don't use my weapon to hit things. It's just a stat stick. You know, typical caster weapon use, which actually I like the way they handled that in Diablo 3, so I'd like to see that some more from these style of games, but just a little more RPG elements than what we had with Diablo 3. But anyway, so you get those sockets and you can put like a chunk of lava or a poison fang, all these things that you get, you can put those in there, and that'll convert a reasonable portion of your damage into you know, fire damage, poison damage, whatever. So the huge advantage that gives you is if you're running like a melee character or a ranged Dryad, for instance, what have you. It makes you very adaptable with your damage. So, you know, if you come to an area where all your mobs are vulnerable to fire, you had a ice weapon or what have you, and then all of a sudden everything's strong versus ice. Then you just either switch over to a weapon that has so then you would either switch over to a weapon that has an element that they're not strong against, or you would re-socket the weapon that you have if you don't have a backup weapon, and put in a type of damage that they're, you know, not strong against. So that you gotta like that adaptability. If you play melee character, or I don't know how many ranged characters there are that are viable. I know that the ranged Dryad is pretty awesome. I've been playing that one on the console lately, and
don't have to wait for the man with the sign.
I've almost got that character up to level 40. Got my I got my spellcasting Dryad up to like 54. I haven't been playing her as much. She's gotten into gold difficulty, which is pretty cool, I guess. I have been exploring with her somewhat, but I've just been trying different characters, I guess. One thing is, like, when I play on the console, every once in a while, if I play an online game, surprisingly enough, I'll actually get another player join me, so that's pretty cool. It's actually kind of fun to, for once, get to play the game with somebody else at the same time, because I mean, I don't know anybody in my personal life who plays these kind of games, like, that I hang out with anyway, so, you know, besides, like, I live, like, all the people that I work with, some of them are into video games and stuff, but I live, like, halfway across town, and, you know, I got my own life. I got a dog to feed and all this stuff, so that sounds very strange by way of an excuse or what have you, but the point is, I don't really I don't find myself hanging out with them and to be like, oh, hey, let's play this game. The thing is, too, if you're playing local multiplayer on this, it's just split screen, I guess. I haven't actually tried it, so I don't know how well that works, but one can't help but think it would be eye-strainingly bad. Who knows, though, right? So now we gotta run back. We gotta run on to the jungle. Yeah, I'm my voice is not in a singing mood today. I'm very tired. I'm not really feeling personally all that enthusiastic about doing an LP, but you know. So I didn't even really mention this portal. I think I just sort of took it and glossed over it. But if you use this portal that connects these two places here, and one is right here, the other one's up there. It'll make this area a lot faster. I didn't do it the first time, but it makes you run back and forth twice, so I either didn't notice the teleportal, or I just assumed that it wouldn't be open, because a lot of times you have to, like, especially, you know, from my experience with Sacred, you know, the first game, you usually have to go click on the other one that's further away to open it up. So the first time I tried it, when I got over here, I was like, wow, it's already open? Why was I doing all this other stuff? I am not even hungry, but I suddenly decided I want some mac and cheese. But I'm not going to get mac and cheese because I'm not hungry. Man, I wish I was hungry so I could eat some mac and cheese. Aren't you glad you subscribed to my channel so you could hear me whine about how I want mac and cheese? Just like a kid, I'm like, I want mac and cheese! I want mac and cheese! And you just, like, keep whining about it, and you just expect it to somehow manifest. Like, obviously that mentality or behavior shouldn't be able to persist into adulthood, because it's nobody to magically manifest things for you anymore unless you just decide to spend your entire adult life living with your parents. Yeah, she just did that thing where she, like, aimed her spell up at that bridge or something, because there was another layer that was in the way. For the most part, though, these guys did a good job of being careful with the not like layering over too much, and I think it helps a lot to make the map more navigable. It's really strange, like there's really random things
about the creation of our world.
Whatever. Like, honestly, the lore in this stuff has never been that amazing. That, to my knowledge, I've not been bowled over by it. Now I forgot what I was saying, which is a shame, because I thought it was kind of interesting. Oh well, maybe if I watch my video one day, I'll remember and it'll be, whatever. Like, I'll just do post-commentary and be like, hey guys, Bezlonir here. Remember that really interesting thing I was talking about? I know what it was now. Yeah. No, it's usually not that important, is it? It's not like you care. Like, I get like 10 views and I assume that they're probably not watching, like, the whole video. I guess I could talk about how I usually do whatever when I do whatever I do. I usually, when I watch an LP, what I enjoy doing is like, most of the time I usually will start watching an LP that's like kind of old and already has a lot of episodes, or especially usually is complete already, and then I'll just like plop down and, you know, get myself a marathon session. A sesh, bro, a sesh. So this is all leading up to us,
The world.
It is because this librarian. It does not matter. I am already on my
going into this whole big cave blah system. Man, I didn't think this part would take us this long. I always forget how long it is. Where do we need to go now? Back up there. Brilliant. Unfortunately, I keep summoning my mount, but every time you go through a portal like that, your mount gets unmounted. I don't need to mount him now. That almost sounded dirty. I think we're just about to where we go into the cave.
Has led you to your target.
Oh, we don't need a vendor right now. Haven't fought that many mobs.
So, I need dragon scales to protect myself from dragons. Very well.
So, it takes a whole, like, a whole nother level of familiarity with the game and just, like, attention to what's going on and all this stuff to navigate these caves that we're coming to when you're playing on the console. Oh man. See, that's what this is right here. Every character. Oh, okay, hold on. No, it'd be faster to go. It'd be faster to start from the other part. I think our next step is to go into the cave. I'm gonna have to walk away from this and then summon my minion back to me. I think if I tried to mount him there, I'd go into the portal. But, I forgot. Oh, yeah, see, I kill most things with, like, 2 hits, but those things I'm doing about 1/3 damage to. Undead are also puzzlingly, resistant to ice, and I think they do ice damage. I gotta say, like, Undead in the beginning of the game, like that first area around that first big city too, and up to the north, it's just like the bane of my existence on many of my characters. Like any character that doesn't start out very strong. Like, I had this character, it was a melee temple guardian, which was really cool and really fun, and I was just shredding. I was kicking everything's ass, and then I get to the undead. I had, like, I was because you always feel like in this game, and especially on the console version, because one difference in the console version, here you see, which is hard to see because the font is so small, but that's a stack of 20 health potions, so they'll only stack to 20, and from there they'll take up more space in your inventory for each thing of 20. That's why I only keep 20 and I sell the rest. On the console, they all stack and only take up 1 unit of weight, and they're you can have like as many as you want. Like I have like 300 on one character because I never use them. But you feel like you've been successful when you get to the point that you're accumulating health potions instead of using them. And so to get a long way around to my story on this Temple Guardian, I had like I was accumulating potions. I had like 20 of them, so I was feeling pretty good. And then I went to start that rock band quest, and that quest just the whole way through that quest, you're just traveling through all that area with all the undead, and they just shredded me. I ran into one group of I think 5 or 6 undead, and I used my entire stock of stuff, you know, whatever. And I used all 20 of those health potions, and then still had to like run around and spend like 4 minutes like doing the oh shit, you know, run around, try not to get hit, burn these mobs down, you know. Which is, it's fun every once in a while because it's satisfying to not die and to overcome, but then you're like, dang, I just used all my health potions, now I gotta go back to town and get some more, and, you know, obviously not gonna make progress in this area that, you know, I was in or whatever. Oh, one thing that I've been doing, and I was thinking about making a video for this, to sort of test the waters. I've done a lot of videos of like testing the waters of things. For the most part, it's sort of pointless because it seems like I should just do what I want to do, and like nobody's at this point. I'm not really gonna get feedback, but I was thinking of. Well, that wouldn't even make any sense in the case of what I'm thinking of. Because what I was thinking is that I could, I spent, the other day I spent about, a good amount of time, a few hours I spent, playing around with modding this game. For this game, the way it works is it has a bunch of text files in the scripts folder for the game, and so some things that you can change is you can change some attributes of monsters, and you can change you can change spells and stuff like, well, yeah, the main thing is you can change spells, and that's my point. Because what I was thinking is, like, I could make a video, and I was going to make a video showing kind of offhand some of what I could do with changing spells, and then, like, as sort of a thing for 250 subscribers, like, you guys can, you know, make requests on like abilities you'd like to see or whatever, and I can mod that out, and then we could play that character around a little bit, or, you know, whatever. It's probably gonna wind up being overpowered, especially if you know, people suggest some crazy overpowered abilities. But I don't know. I mean, that's the thing, is like, it would be cool if people were like interested in it and actually had suggestions, but I don't anticipate that being the case. It's not so much like I don't think that I'm being pessimistic. It's just my experience. Yeah. One thing I would like to do, and I was thinking about maybe modding, was I'd really like to see a Temple Guardian build that was effective with ranged weapons, because he can use like ranged energy weapons, which are kind of like laser guns. So the Seraphim already has like this spell where she summons this big laser weapon, but I mean, as cool as that is, it's also like, you know, well, you're gonna have the same weapon for the whole game, which is not that exciting, right? It's nice to have because you don't have to worry about finding a better weapon, but I mean, come on, you can't. There's like different levels of the sense of like growth and reward that you expect as a player when you're, you know, playing an RPG. You want that like random chance that you get from loot, because that's kind of exciting. You know, it's like a slot machine. But you also want you know, like steady growth, which is like gaining stats by leveling or whatever. And I think the third thing is you want like something that you have to like choose with points to make yourself stronger, because then that gives you more of a sense of like agency in the decisions to improve your character. But you know, it's that RNG is important, because it's exciting when you get something like, oh man, like that just happened, you know. It gives a sense of unpredictability. And you know, the only sucky thing is when that's the only mechanic, you know, which is kind of what like Diablo 3 was. They do have like Paragon levels now, but and I'm really kind of speaking out of turn because I haven't played Diablo 3 much in quite a while, so I don't necessarily know where it's at now, but I do know that you can't really put points into like whatever you want, whenever you want. So we have this guy that wanted us to come down and like slay this dragon for some reason. I know that, but now he just have to kill these like dragon overseers or something. And then in a minute we'll have to go ask another dragon to help us, which seems ironic. Like, hey, we wanted to kill the last dragon, but we just want you to help us. Trust us, you know. But this dragon was just like old. He had gingivitis and shit, and he's just like, you know what, dog, I'm done. He's like, I'm done, dog. Okay. So then we have to go and ask that other guy to help us. And then, like, I think we actually have to fight a dragon at one point to get a dragon heart scale. Because in theory we're supposed to fight yet another dragon and we need to be safe or something. The plot is really convoluted. But for this area, like, it can be really confusing, especially on the console, to navigate through, and the best thing to do is don't try to use the map and do your best to just follow that little orange quest arrow, because that'll generally take you through it. Oh, I guess I'll show the map. As you can see, you can't really see much from it, and best thing to do is just follow that quest arrow. It usually leads you in the right direction. Well, anyway, so I guess that's about enough for this video, because we're out of time here. So, thanks for joining me. This is Bezlonir signing out of another episode of Let's Play Sacred 2 for the PC. And I'll see you next time, viewer. Until then, don't go raping any giraffes with your tongue.